Alternative radio.
The following episode is intended for mature audiences. Please note that listener discretion is advised.
I was catching up on your guys' episodes. I had some windshield time, so I enjoyed some Love on Film and Marky Mark and April, and it's been good. But you know what's funny is I find myself sitting in the exact same spot where I do our show, and it feels different when I'm on somebody else's show. Magically, it's suddenly different.
Yeah, you barely have notes. You just sit back, let the other person do the drive-in, just throw out your 5-star jokes the whole time. Like,
100%.
You're a sniper. That's what it is when you're a guest. Yeah, trust me, we guested on probably
hundreds,
500 episodes or something like that. Yeah, some of them were just like, yeah, let them do all the heavy lifting, and then it's like, insert poop joke here. You know, that's us. Been waiting 45 minutes to drop this bomb.
Well, I did re-listen to the episode we did about Lamborghini, and it turned out better than I remembered.
Oh yeah, so too. Like, well, yeah, with adding like from the movie, it's like, oh, Steve's not just being a racist Scottish Italian stereotype or whatever. That's Gabriel Byrne.
I had to do it, and that was the first one I did, and I was like, you know what? We need to really bring the audience into this. It's really going to help. Because otherwise, you're right. They're like, why is this guy a jerk?
I Enzo Ferrari will be the greatest Italian car maker.
So
if my name isn't Kaiser Soze.
You know what else is funny? This particular film, for whatever reason, like Jess, my better half, she will partner with me to watch the films. I love her color commentary. I write it down, all that kind of stuff. This time, it was just so funny. I was like, Steve and Izzy have a movie for us to watch. Not tonight, honey. You know, try a couple days later. We got to watch this movie. Steve and Izzy sent us. Not tonight, honey. I tried third time. She's like, all right, let's get this over with.
Spoilers, it's a little over 2 hours. Oh, God damn it.
Well, that's exactly. I said, you know, the running time's like 2:11. She's like, are you serious? Yep.
Yeah. And if you're watching on like Freevee or whatever, they're going to add like an hour extra commercials and
9,000 commercials. Exactly.
Tubi's not so bad. Like whenever I get the choice of Tubi and literally anything else other than streaming, then it's like, okay, there we go.
Here's the stupid part. Freevee, I guess, was IMDb TV.
Or whatever,
so I hit sign in, and now it's linked my Amazon with my Freevee, and now forever hold its peace. Stuntman is linked to my watch history in Amazon, and it's like, oh, because you watched this, we recommend these 9,000 other films. Great, thanks.
These other movies Steve and Izzy have watched for Stuntman, which, by the way, all amazing. Every last one we've watched.
Oh yeah.
Spoilers for this one. I didn't know this one existed. And then watching it, I'm like, screw you guys for not telling me this movie existed.
Right? Not you guys.
No, you guys. No,
the universe.
People born before 1981.
Yeah, right.
Those guys.
I think the rest of us are going, screw you guys for telling us it existed.
What? No. All right, we'll get into it. No.
Yes, we will.
It's a wonder film didn't just die sometimes.
Well, we'll get into it. I mean, Mountain Man Mike.
Yeah, we also live on a mountain.
He called you Mike too. Don did the same thing. What is this?
Yeah, Dan. What the hell?
It's Mountain Mike's Pizza.
Yeah, that's what it is. Mountain Mike's Pizza.
That's exactly what they said.
Is this a national chain?
It's a California.
It's a West Coast thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you've seen one, the pizza's delicious.
So I have an alias on the West Coast, apparently.
You do.
Everything I learned from these movies help make your life a little bit easy. Where that it's time to get dancing.
Friend Steve.
Step right up, folks. Ride the ride of the century on Eli's killer crane.
Stuntman. A man on the run. The woman who had to know why.
Who the hell are you?
And the director who offered him a hiding place.
You shall be a stuntman who is an actor, who is a character in a movie, who is an enemy soldier, who looked for you amongst all those.
The Stuntman. In a world where nothing is what it seems, the hardest stunt is to hold on to reality.
It doesn't change the fact that the man is crazy.
It's the insanity of violence and the madness of make-believe.
You're cheating me. You look at me like I'm some kind of damn movie. Well, I'm not. I'm real. I'm on this show. Hang on, baby. We're all free.
Trapped in a nightmare, wrapped up in a movie. The Stuntman, an outrageous leap into the unexpected.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Steve.
And I'm Izzy.
And this is Everything I Learned from Movies. And tonight,
tonight,
we are continuing May Cause Injury.
Maybe.
With 1980s, The Stuntman.
Yeah.
Oh, but babe, we're not alone for this one.
We're not.
We may have the most guests we've had on at one time for this one.
More than the camp out?
No, not quite that many, but still, a lot.
Close.
On the main episode, we'll say. Because we have from Grand Touring Motorsports, we have Eric, Tanya, Brad, and Mountain Man Dan. Definitely not Mountain Mike.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah.
And $1,000 for this, right? Not $650.
That's 10 Dogecoin for you, my man.
We'll split the difference. 700.
$750. Yeah. Well, you always want to split the difference, Tanya.
Sorry.
The check's in the mail.
It's on the helicopter.
So was this your guys' first time watching this movie?
Yes.
No, I watch it annually.
Somebody's ahead of the curve.
I got the 4K restoration along with the original 35 millimeter. Man,
I have it signed by the cast, the can. Yeah.
That would be worth a lot of money with this cast.
Exactly. Well, one in particular, at least. But yeah, it's our first time too. I didn't even know this thing existed. And
so this reminds me a lot of when we debate on our What Should I Buy sub-series on Break Fix, where we talk about things that were made in the decade prior and then positioned as something of that time. This is clearly a 70s film, even though it has a release date of 1980.
Spoilers, it was filmed in 1977, and we've learned this month it would have been one of like 8 stunt movies released that year. So that's what they said.
So they should have let it out. Let the cat out of the bagel.
Before we get into this, a little thirsty. I don't know about you.
Oh, I'm still sober, so we should fix this.
Oh, well, what you got to fix that?
We have from Bohemian Brewing their Dortmunder Export Lager. 6% alcohol by volume.
Not bad. It's a Bohemian Brewery in Midvale, Utah, home of the original KFC.
All right, be prepared for my scream because I have a cat in my lap and I'm about to pop my top.
Right.
Oh, my top. And the cat's still here.
Oh, seems interested.
She wants some. And the pour? Yeah. This is a beautiful, very pale colored beer.
And it's like golden straw color.
Yeah. It has a gorgeous white foamy head, very effervescent.
Ooh.
The aroma is very mild. It's basically just a little bit of almost cereal, and you get a little bit of like carbonic bite on the nose.
Yeah, it's malt forward, but not much. Like it's very light and airy and
sneaky 6%.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's almost like a light lager, but
yeah,
more than that.
How much is in the can?
12 fluid ounces, allegedly.
Allegedly. Are you guys over there drinking anything tonight?
In honor of you guys, I'll see your 6% and raise you 2% with Delirium Red. Belgium's finest, imported through the great state of Maryland, fortified with cherry and elderberry. It's a Belgian ale.
Ooh.
Right. I will see yours and raise you 43%.
Woo!
McClellan.
This is the only way I could survive that movie.
Izzy, it is a red color and it has a pink foamy head. It smells
Ooh.
like cherry gojo, but it doesn't taste like that.
Look at you being a beer judge.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys going to force me on alcohol content to go grab a quart of Shine out of the fridge?
I knew it. I knew you had Shine in the fridge.
He's got it just for
Only-
this occasion.
only if you want.
No, a sommelier. That's what it is.
Oh, no.
No, we are certified beer judges.
Oh, nice.
We're certified alcoholics.
We are BJCP certified.
Ooh.
Which means we are certified to judge both homebrewer and professional beers.
Yeah. I'm sensing a
competition.
side project podcast just for beer.
Oh, no, we gotta mix it
No,
in.
we mix it
We
in.
mix it in
It's
with the
far
movie.
too boring when it's just about the mechanics of beer and the history of the Dortmunder Express Lager. Like, you don't need any.
There are
of that.
plenty of guys
there's a
with
market
bigger
out there
beards
for
than
it.
Steve's who have that podcast.
If you do it anything like the way you judge the deviled eggs, I'm all in. That was excellent.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Eric's a bit of an ASMR freak, and so the
I just loved you chewing on the eggs. Oh, no.
you should hear us when we're doing like the Japanese flavored chips and stuff like that, like the cherry blossom potato chips. We're like, this is definitely something I put in my mouth.
Babe,
Oh.
it's not just Japanese flavored. It's all of Asia and the Pacific Rim. We have an international Asian market. Ocean Mart for anybody who happens to be in Ogden or Roy, Utah. They have a great chip selection.
Speaking of great chip selection, 1980s The Stuntman. Nailed it, Steve. From writer-director Richard Rush.
Who's that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. He did movies such as Too Soon to Love, Of Love and Desire, Hell's Angels on Wheels, Thunder Alley, A Man Called Dagger, Psych Out, The Savage Seven, Freebie and the Bean, this, and then one you may have heard of, The Color of Night.
Nope.
The one where you
Not a
see
single
Bruce
one.
Willis's wang during the love scene or something like that.
Oh my God.
Have you seen Bruce's Willis?
No. I feel like we need to watch A Man Called Dagger.
A Man Called Dagger.
That sounds like a good one. I think we need to watch that one.
He lost me at the something and the bean. my
Freebie and the Bean.
Click in the bean. That's what he said.
I'm afraid to look it up because I'm pretty sure Bill Cosby's one or the other because it's from the 70s. But
Oh no!
basically, unfortunately, he passed away in 2021. This, of course, based on the novel by Paul Brodeur.
Who's he, Steve?
This is the only thing he had on IMDb.
Okay.
Yeah, so the only thing adapted for a movie.
I did
And
notice that this
screenplay.
was based on a book, and where would I even find this book?
The book was better.
That's what I wondered. I want to know if there's something that was left out. I need to fill in some
Do you want the
gaps.
audio version of the book?
But someone
Well,
like Dan is reading it, so I don't know if that's better or worse. I was saying the movie's 2 hours long, the audiobook 200 hours long.
Oh my God.
Probably.
So much to explain.
Got to get every detail in there.
But if it were narrated by the star of this film, Peter O'Toole as Eli Cross, I don't know. I've listened to that shit.
This guy, he has a voice that is unforgettable. It's very distinct. But was he born old? Because
Yes.
he's
I mean-
looked the same forever.
Yes,
Yeah,
he came out of the womb at 40.
You go back to Lawrence of Arabia, he still looks like he's in his
Right?
mid-50s. Yeah. Also starring in this movie, we have favorite of the podcast, Steve Railsback as Cameron,
We love
aka
Steve
Lucky.
Railsback.
Yeah.
I love Steve Railsback anyway. I'm
He-
not sure how Steve feels.
He pops
about
up in movies we enjoy. I'll give him that.
I love this guy.
Life Force and Turkey Shoot. And
The 60s, 70s, and 80s was a time of like leading guys who probably should have never been leading guys.
oh yeah.
And then there's like leading guys who definitely should have been leading guys. Steve Railsback, I feel like, walks that line. Like he looks like a leading guy,
Yeah.
but he sort of acts
just
like a
features
background
it.
actor. And I love it. I love it.
Also in this movie, we have Barbara Hershey as Nina Franklin.
Yeah.
Alex Rocco, one of our favorites from Rockford Files, as Jake, the detective. And did anyone see James Avery in this movie, aka Uncle Carl from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Okay,
What?
so
Yes.
I saw that he was in there, but there was only ever
Right.
one person of color the whole time, and that was
He
like in
was-
the first 5 minutes. So was he the dude that walked by the pinball machine?
Yeah, he was a customer at Diner, is his official
Wow.
Customer
Okay.
at diner.
Yep,
I
the
thought that
voice
was
of
him,
Shredder.
but then I thought it was a lot thinner and taller.
Well,
I
it
want-
was, 15 years before or something
Yeah.
like that.
So you
Or
mentioned
even
Barbara
15.
Hershey. Does anybody recognize her from anything else more recent?
Nope.
Not offhand.
Okay, well, Boxcar Bertha aside, we could talk about that more later. She played the Queen of Hearts, Cora, on ABC's Once Upon a Time.
Oh yeah, I never watched it.
What?
Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
Sure it was
that
I did
whole
watch
Alice, that
that.
whole
I don't
Alice
even
in Wonderland arc that they did. She was the Queen of Hearts.
It was at like season 3 or 4 or something like that.
Started almost right away at the tail end of season 1 into season 2. I'm actually watching it with my girls now, and they love it.
Oh, nice. Let's check that out. Yeah, and of course, if you want to watch this movie, which I mean, I'll say I think you should. It's on Tubi, it's on Amazon Prime, Freevee, Plex, Sling TV. Apparently, they're just throwing this away, so you can find it for free.
Depends. Do you want it to be 2 hours or do you want it to be 4 hours? Because if you want it to be 4 hours, go Freevee.
Yeah,
I went Freevee,
yeah.
and it was torture.
Yeah, go the Tubi way with that one. Yeah, Freebie, I forget which one we watched it recently, but it was like, we're watching like an hour and a half movie, and it took us legit over 3 hours to watch it.
With these streaming services now, if you're not willing to pay the premium package, yeah, they give you ad 1 of 2 or whatever. Freebie is like ad 1 of 9. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to go make a sandwich and wash the car. I'll be back.
All right, cool. I'm going to go walk the dog. Thank you.
Great.
Let's just talk for a moment about the opening of this film, shall we?
Let's do it.
I will say this. I kind of got excited. I was thinking stunt people. It's going to be cars and ramps and explosions and this and that. That whole beginning with the clapboard, I was ready to turn it off about 30 seconds in. Is anybody else super annoyed by that?
Oh, with the clapboard credits or whatever?
Yes.
Where it's
Oh,
like,
my God.
Starring clap. Yeah.
It was cool like the first 2 times, and then after that it was too much.
I was so triggered.
But I think
right?
it sets us up for this movie being too much. And if you want less, go somewhere else.
100%. But what I thought was neat, maybe there was going to be a pattern building, because if you notice during the clapboard intro and all the things going on in the diner with the uncle from Fresh Prince and whatnot, there was like multiple shots of dogs. And I was like, oh, there's going to be like a dog theme here, because there's like 3 or 4 dogs within that whole first thing. And I was like, oh, okay, where are we going with this? And then it turned into The Fugitive. And so I got excited. I was like, this is cool. Like, we have started off something amazing here. This might actually be a good movie.
Opening scene with the dog laying there, licking on himself as the car pulls up. I was like, okay, this movie might have some potential.
That's what you judged it on?
What can I say? The dog's reaction, growling at them for honking the horn, I just thought was priceless. I laughed way harder than I probably should have at that, but I thought it was hilarious.
You find the
But the dog was awesome.
Yeah, so we had the dog lying in the road and like barks at a passing car, and then there's like a bunch of like semis and choppers and the highway patrolman and everything pulling up. And then like the chopper's flying by and some random vulture just like hits the chopper. And they're like, oh, what the hell was that? Nothing important, just a damn bird, blah. I was thinking like, oh no, they're gonna like lose control and crash or something like that. Like, nope.
Yes, I was waiting for this whole Final Destination thing, and like everybody in the first 5 minutes was gonna die or something.
What's awesome is at this point, I have a note here. My wife turns to me and she goes, I can guarantee that there is at least 5 minutes of bullshit before this movie even starts. Right? Kind of knowing how these late 70s films are.
It's called the credits. Yeah. We don't see the gentleman in the back. We just see his hand as he brings a bitten apple into screen. And we're like, oh, he's eating an apple, so he must be an asshole. That's movie code.
That is movie code. If somebody's eating an apple, they're always an asshole.
And then he just throws it out the side of a chopper. It rolls down like the top of the diner, hits the cop car.
Yeah, and the cops are like, something hit the roof. Well, call the chief after we catch this scumbag.
And they go into the diner and we see the like diner lady like taking orders, and she has this like tiny dog like tucked in her armpit as she's like leaning over like, here's your egg, sweetie. And I'm like, nope.
And then the guy's like, one day I want to get you. And the dog starts like trying to take his finger off.
Wait, did nobody notice that he like grabbed her boob?
Oh.
No, he was going for her boob and the dog got him.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Exactly.
He said, I'm gonna get you, Mary.
I think he made it, and then he had to back off because the dog started snapping.
That's why she brings her dog to the diner for this guy.
Maybe Mary was the dog, and he was talking to the dog. I'm gonna get you.
Then it cuts to that commercial of a model and her dog acting all seductive, like holding her, like, yeah, making love to the camera. And I'm like, wait, what? What's happening right now?
So that's foreshadowing. That comes up later in one of my favorite quotes from this film. So that's Barbara Hershey in the commercial.
Okay, it was Barbara Hershey. Okay, because it kind of looked like her, but it was real quick and it was just like, what the hell?
There's a quote later that references back to that commercial. We'll see if you guys picked it up or not, but we'll keep going.
We also see at the diner.
No, where she's selling douche powder.
Yes.
Oh, is that what that was for?
Yes.
Yes, because they're gonna bring it up later again.
Yes, exactly.
All right, that explains the seductive part of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also see someone sitting at the diner. It's Steve Railsback looking like Charlie Manson with the beard and the haircut and everything.
The best he looked in the entire film.
Look, Steve Railsback, he's not a handsome man. Like,
An awful looking guy.
worse, but yeah, he's got the super high cheekbones and
Yeah.
I don't know, dead doll eyes for the most part.
Look, Mr. Railsback, please come on our podcast.
Yeah, please. I'd love to.
You listen.
I'd love to talk about you playing Ed Gale in like 5 different movies.
Yes.
Kind of gets up, trying to act all nonchalant, goes like plays the pinball machine, and the cops just kind of like get on either side of him. They're like, "Oh, looks like someone gave you a free ball.
Yep.
Get him!" And they like jump on him and like try cuffing him and all that.
So
And,
at this point, we don't know why they want to detain him. It just sort of happens.
Yeah.
That's going to be the thing carries you through the movie. You don't know why they're after him. Like, I really don't care either.
Right?
But is he wanted for murder? Is he wanted for throwing a penny off the Empire State Building? Like, what is he wanted for?
Also known as murder.
Murder.
But yeah, he basically like fights him off and goes running away and ends up like beating the crap out of like the lineman, like the wire runner guy.
Yeah, the lineman for the county. He's on the back roads.
So at this point, the quote from my wife, she yells, "Parkour!" Just like it was on The Office, because he's rolling and diving and ducking and dodging. I mean, he's everywhere. And I got excited. I was like, this is turning into The Fugitive. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Richard Kimball or whatever when he gets off the bus, all long-haired and just kind of scraggly and all that.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the handcuff throat punch. That was pretty slick. I was like, good thinking there.
Well, not to throw out any surprises for anybody listening, but you're talking about like when the police try to detain him and you don't know why. Later in the movie, there's a scene where he's with Barbara's character. He starts talking about it, and I'm like, okay, he's talking about why they were trying to arrest him. And then you find out it was just like they were practicing pretending for a screen role or something like that. And I'm like, well, now I'm back to where I was, not knowing what they wanted him.
Exactly. Comes full circle several times.
Oh, he also ends up grabbing like one of their bags or whatever because I guess it has the bolt cutters in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he used the bolt cutters or whatever to cut the cuffs and stuff. So it's great. And he gets to the bridge and instead of going through the river, he's just like across the bridge.
Wait a second. He used his butthole to operate those bolt cutters.
Well, yeah. How else are you going to do it?
How
Tanya?
effective
Please
is
describe in
that?
detail.
How
That's how I do
effective
it.
is that from the menfolk?
Have you seen Steve Railsback's cheeks?
I have seen Dan take a 2x12 to the nutsack. It is possible.
The man's taint is made of iron.
Apparently, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, he's pressing down on that with his balls. Like, it's like, holy hell.
But yeah, it was effective. You learned that one in Nam, we'll find out. No. Yeah, he's crossing the bridge or whatever, and he sees a car coming by and like, puts the thumb out trying to hitch. And what kind of car was it? A Dusseldorf or something like that?
We're going to get to that later. I have an issue with this, but yes, we're going to call it quote unquote the Duesenberg, the doozy.
Yeah. Okay, so the car stops and he like hops in. Is like, "Hey, thanks for the ride." And the driver's instantly like, "Hey, get the fuck out of here!" Blah blah blah. I'm like, you're the one that stopped and opened the door, dude.
Right?
Yeah, he like peels off the end of the bridge, turns around, and then starts coming at him to like ram him. Okay, what's going on here? Railsback or whatever. He just grabs the nearest bottle, throws it at the windshield, dives out of the way. Car goes off the side of the bridge into the water. Of course, you don't see it. It's all off screen because there's no way they're going to do more than one time.
And in swoops the helicopter.
You see this guy operating a giant camera or whatever on the side, and like, oh shit, they caught all that on film. And then we see in the back seat the man in the back that used to have the apple, and it's Peter O'Toole. Oh shit.
Again, I am still thinking this is like good cop, bad cop, fugitive. This is going to be an action flick like nonstop because he's the stunt man, right? We're going to find out that maybe he was a stunt man and he's on the run or whatever. And I'm like, I am super stoked to this point.
Hey, you're expecting the Fall Guy TV series, right?
Exactly.
You want Lee Majors to be in this. Oh, I get it. At the end of the scene, we see the chopper kind of like flying around the bridge, and it looks like it's just about to hit the bridge, and then you get like a flash wipe to the next scene, which is cutting to the Hotel Coronado. Did anybody else think like, wait, did that chopper just crash into the bridge?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
There was
Spoilers,
lots of very abrupt scene changes in editing in this movie.
There's a very special one that we'll talk about in a little bit, but yes.
Oh, I think I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I've been to the Hotel Coronado, so I immediately identified with it because it hasn't changed in forever. And I was like, okay, so this is shot in San Diego. Nobody's going to spend the money to build a replica of that thing. And then they spend let's say the rest of the time there, which is all well and good. But yeah, I'm glad you picked up on that too. I was like, oh, that's a landmark.
Earlier this month, we watched the movie Stunts that was filmed at the Madonna Inn, another historic property that hasn't changed in the last 50 years.
I've been there too. That's the most amount of pink I've ever seen in one place in my life. It is incredible.
The Madonna Inn is magical.
Yeah. So yeah, we're at the Hotel Coronado now. Just okay, cool. We're in San Diego, sweet. And we see Charlie Manson, Railback or whatever, coming around the corner, and he's making himself some jean shorts with bolt clippers or whatever.
That's good camouflage.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, he's just trying to blend into the boardwalk and all the people doing their thing there on a sunny afternoon. There's a film shoot going on the beach, and it looks like it's a World War I movie because you see all the guys dressed as like the German troops with pointy little Kaiser helmets and whatnot.
Yeah, it was graphic. I wasn't expecting that.
I got thrown off because I'm like, okay, they're shooting this movie, cool. This fake movie inside this movie, right? And then all of a sudden it took like a 90-degree turn, and I'm like, oh my God, like they just murdered everybody.
So we got this plane, the little biplane or whatever coming in, like, you see all the squibs going off and people like, they're filming Saving Private Ryan or something. And it's just, everyone's falling over. Explosions and stuff start going off like mortars or whatever. And then after a while, it just boom, big explosion, a lot of dust in the air. And then as it settles, you see all the actors just laying down like in bits, like it's a fucking Eli Roth movie.
Yeah.
Like people in half and like missing limbs and shit. Everybody watching, the audience or whatever, there's told to be quiet. There's like, oh my God, what happened? Everybody's dead.
And Charles Manson Railsback's like, somebody call an ambulance.
Yeah, call an ambulance. It's like having a flashback.
And then a guy comes up and like, pretty realistic, isn't it?
When they started moving, because there was a good 10 Mississippi where nobody was moving.
So like with the car trying to drive him off the road earlier, and this really sets the tone for this movie in that like it really points out that he is not a reliable narrator. We can't trust his perception. And it really starts blending what is movie magic, what is in his head, who are actors, who are people. To me, that seemed to be like the real like theme of this movie.
Once my balloon had been popped and I realized this wasn't The Fugitive, I suddenly went, this is the original Inception. Which level of hell are we on right now? To your point, Izzy, it was like you didn't know what was real and what was fake, and that perpetuates throughout the rest of the film.
Yeah, because I assumed on the bridge, because I didn't realize what was happening with the car. Like he stopped and then the guy got angry. I'm like, what is this tool doing? And then he went forward and all of a sudden you saw like camera crews. I'm like, oh, he must have stopped to prepare for whatever move he was doing. He did this J-turn, goes back across the bridge. I assumed he was still filming, and then dude throws something at him and we don't know what happens. But then you find out like he went over the bridge. So it's like he caused this accident, even though the guy wasn't trying to kill him at all. He was just trying to shoot his scene. Like I don't think we ever got the answer as to what actually happened on that bridge.
But that's because our character never got the answer.
Exactly.
Like that's part of the whole movie. Whereas in the dark is this character who doesn't have his wits about him.
Yeah.
When the bridge came to the stop, and when he opens the door, he looks at him. He's like, "Oh, you're not good enough to get in this car because it's a fancier car." Something. And the reason he was like, "Get out," was because he thought he wasn't worthy to be in the car or something. And he sped off. But then when he came back, I threw it off completely. As what was
it didn't make any sense as to why he stopped in the first place. It was sort of like, if you don't want to pick up a hitchhiker, just keep driving. It was really bizarre, right?
Yeah. Because he stopped at the beginning of the bridge.
Yeah.
But he was so focused on his...
he wasn't expecting anyone to be there.
He didn't stop like at him. He stopped in front of him, and then dude ran up to the car and opened the door. So I think he was ignoring him.
He didn't realize there was a person on the road because he's getting ready to do this very dangerous stunt that people die doing. Sushi has big opinions about this.
Where we sort of left off there. At first, I didn't pick up on the pointy Kaiser helmets and think World War I. The biplane for me was the giveaway because the beach scene didn't seem right for World War I because it should have been trench warfare. I mean, the plane was correct. It sort of gave me that, to your point, Steve, you said like kind of Saving Private Ryan sort of situation there in Normandy Beach. So that was a little out of whack. Okay, fine, they're shooting a movie, who cares? But the next kind of abrupt cutaway to when we see Barbara Hershey for the first time, not on a douche powder commercial, I was really lost.
Yeah, where she walks up in the old lady makeup and basically like, excuse me. okay, well, that's obviously somebody wearing makeup, like a mask.
Right?
I just thought it was the quality of the movie. They couldn't get an old lady to do this part, so they've just really make-upped up someone.
Well, that was just it too. I was disappointed. I was like, Barbara Hershey's going to play like Estelle Getty in this movie. Like, I don't understand. Like, they cast her to play old lady. Like, they could have found anybody to do this.
Sicily, 1917.
She did take a lot of pride in the fact of she went up to the one guy and got his autograph, and he didn't even recognize it was her. So she was very proud of how well it was done.
Yeah, the star of the movie that, spoilers, Railsback's going to be the stunt double for. What was his name? Mr. Bailey? Or yeah, she basically walks up, gets an autograph. Yeah, the director, Eli, he comes choppering in, and he like tells everybody like, hey, so somebody died. No big deal. We'll move on.
So hold on a second. As Peter O'Toole is helicoptering in, I want to talk about the cinematography here for a second, because the helicopter gets used quite a bit in this movie. But why were we looking up his nose the entire time that he's coming down? It's like when Glinda the Good Witch came down, right? He's like circling down to the beach and he's landing, but we're looking up his nose. Was there any particular reason to do that?
Do you want to look down through helicopter blades? Is that what you want to do, Eric? Because that's the other option.
No, but my wife did point out to me, she goes, why are his eyes completely bloodshot like he's in a zombie film? What kind of drugs was he on? And then I said, it's got to be the backwash from the props on the helicopter, probably kicking up sand and everything. Did you guys notice how just gory he looked?
I just noticed the whole time how Willem Dafoe could have been his cousin or brother.
Later, we were comparing him to a Marvel supervillain the entire time. It was fantastic. Like Willem Dafoe, he's got the very pronounced features and everything, the booming voice. He's a director, blah, blah, blah. He's just like, well, somebody died. We're going to continue on. And then just hops back in the chopper and flies off. And that blows the old lady into the water. Ah!
Yep. Did you also notice the 1960s Batman music that they were using when he took off in the helicopter?
Oh, the music throughout this is wild.
I'll make reference to 60s Batman again as we progress here, but go. I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Railsback, he sees the old lady get blown into the water and he's like, somebody's got to help her. And goes like running in, diving, save her. And they're like picking her up and this old lady starts peeling her face off.
She rips her wig off. She starts peeling her face off.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you in that definitely not douche commercial. That one show. Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for coming and saving me so gallantly. He's like, oh wow, just like in the movies. I am the movie. What? I guarantee you that was in the book. And then something along the lines of, oh yeah, my name's Nina, and I'm like the lead actress in this movie, and I'm the director's daughter. Okay, cool.
Steve, I believe you paused this and was like, wait, did she say daughter?
Okay. I could dig that up to a point in this movie. She's like, oh yeah, this guy saved me, blah, blah, blah. And the director is like instantly like, I know you from the bridge. Come on over here, buddy. And he basically like pulls him aside and is basically like, so you ever done any stunt work? You want to be in this movie? Blah, blah, blah. You don't know this guy, but all right, whatever. You're Peter O'Toole. You've been nominated for Academy Award, not me. With a local sheriff or whatever, Jake, he starts coming around and he's like, God damn it, director. I heard about what happened at the bridge and Bert's missing and presumed dead and blah, blah, blah.
That guy. That's another guy that never aged. He looked the same in everything he was in, and he played the exact same character. Like, you want stereotypical New York City cop, you hire that guy.
Alex Rocco, as seen in multiple episodes of The Rockford Files, Murder, She Wrote, I think up into like Quantum Leap. Yeah. Yeah, he's that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Director's like, no, what do you mean? Bert's right here. Look, talk to him, Bert. And he's pointing at Steve Railsback, who we don't even know this guy's name yet. So I'm just calling him Steve in my notes and stuff. Like, yeah, Bert here. Bert, tell him what happened to the bridge. You see anybody on the run? Because they're like looking for a fugitive or something too. They mentioned like, nope, I didn't see him.
So this is after he met with the on-set hairdresser and went through his transformation and his bleaching and everything else.
No, not yet. No, he's still looking like Charlie Manson.
He just came out of, he just rescued Barbara from the water, so he's dripping wet.
That's right. That's
why they're like, the divers pulled him out and brought him directly here on the helicopter. Hence why he's wet and his jeans magically ripped off.
Yeah, because that's right. Because then the sheriff is like, I'm gonna arrest everyone on your production team. He says something like, I'm gonna arrest the stuntman twice or something.
Yeah, he's super skeptical, but he's like, all right, this checks out. You got 3 days to finish this fucking movie, and I want everybody out of here. I'm arresting all of you and the stunt guys twice. All right, get them out. This wonderful magical lift thing that the director has. And this is where he starts becoming like a Marvel supervillain for the rest of the movie, because it just kind of like comes in like screen right, and he hops on there and pulls Steve Railsback on his side, and they just start having a chat as they're like panning over the beach and spinning around. Like, it's a shot where on the big screen I could see you like getting a little car sick because the background spinning around, he's talking about like, to save your ass, so you're going to assume the identity of Bert, the stuntman that we lost at the bridge there for whatever reason, or I could just tell them the truth and they can take you off to jail. And he's like, sure, sounds like fun, whatever. And then it drops him off there at the entrance to Hotel Coronado. Every scene at the entrance of the Hotel Coronado has a lot of lens flares. Like, there's so much Vaseline and special effects sparkles and stuff in these things. Like, and welcome to Wonderland, the movie industry. Care to join us?
Yeah, well, I mean, come on. Steve Railsback's been like homeless and on the run, and everybody's out to get him. And he's about to enter a luxury hotel. And like this whole world where like he's going to get paid per stunt. And this is a whole new world to him.
Oh, no.
And again, we're back to our unreliable narrator.
When they first tell him that he's going to make money, he's like super stoked because it's like more money he's ever imagined to get for that. He was so excited.
Yeah.
Wait,
But the guy didn't tell him that.
$600?
That guy didn't tell him that till after he started working, and then he was like hanging off the roof.
That's right. During the training part.
Yeah. So we get a little scene where he gets a haircut from, the hair and makeup lady, basically makes him blonde, shaves his face, all that stuff. Find out her name's Denise and she gives great hair. And so then they start banging. I'm like, must be nice.
She's my second favorite character in the movie, actually. I'll let you guys guess who my favorite character is.
No. Before they started banging, he sees the star of our movie out front, and he asks the hairdresser, like, what's her story? And like, well, I think she's better at douche commercials than she is at movies, but she didn't hear that from me.
Mm-hmm. Sells that douche powder.
Cut to the next scene they're shooting, and it's like the aftermath of the everybody dead on the beach scene. All the men are dead, and we get this little stunt where like there's a hand out of the sand, and then it turns, and the middle finger inflates to a big balloon that said something like, eat it, Eli's kitchen or some shit. Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't quite tell before it popped. And I wasn't going to rewind it.
That's some more 60s Batman stuff right there, too. I was like, come on now. What is this?
Oh, Sushi disagrees. This feels like something, though, like stunt guys would and prop guys would pull on a director.
And then the director is like telling everybody, like, okay, we know that's not really Bert. What really happened there at the bridge? And the director's like, I don't know. Move on. We got a movie to finish. Who cares?
We got a new guy.
We got 3 days. And our new guy here, we'll call him Lucky just for clarity's sake. Cool. Don't even know real names. I think it wasn't until like a good hour and 15 minutes in where they mentioned his name's Cameron.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he even said it like, oh, just good old Cameron here. Like,
who's that? So by this point, he's introduced to the stunt coordinator, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we meet the stunt coordinator.
My favorite character, by the way. I like him so much.
He's cool as shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And oh my God, everybody is wearing the Canadian tuxedos throughout this movie too. Every stunt man is head to toe denim. Oh yeah, I guess that's late 70s. That's probably like the work uniform, easier on road rash and stuff like that, right? Yeah, stunt coordinator, he's basically like, you ever done any stunt work before? I don't know, kind of. He's like, look, either you've done stunts or you haven't. Like, oh, I went to NAMM. Is that close enough? All right, cool. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to jump and roll. And like, the stuff he was doing when he was getting away from the cops. And he's like, oh, like this? All right, don't get too cocky. That'll get you hurt. And then they like start wrestling for a bit, throwing each other over their shoulders. That's how you take a fall. Just teaching them the ropes. And then, yeah, this is where Tanya mentioned, like, he was like hanging off the gutters or whatever. Like, yeah, all right, your hands are strong enough for this scene. And, if you do this right, you'll get $600. And he's like, $600? I could buy a house with that. Basically.
Screaming. And we're like, is he happy or mad?
Yeah.
And then he's just like, $600. I'll never have to work again.
I can buy all the douche powder Barbara wants.
That's right.
So yeah, they went from the Tommy mat practice in the middle of the courtyard to on the roof of the Coronado Hotel, kind of just running around and, to your point, hanging from the gutters and stuff. And I was like, wait, what? Yeah. No nets, no nothing. We're just going to practice up on the roof. Yeah. We're stuntmen, right? Brr.
Also, working in the industry, I'm like, oh my God, did they buy out the Hotel Coronado for like 3 months to shoot this movie or something? And
No,
how
they
much
had
would that
3
have
more
cost?
days.
I'm talking about the real movie.
Oh, the real movie. Oh, yeah, probably. And just to clarify, Steve is not in the stunt game. Steve is in the hotel game.
The hotel game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Steve does not hang from roofs. Steve provides roofs over people's heads.
That's right.
In fact, they were just hanging off the roofs and everything. When this movie was created, there probably was no OSHA standards, so they were just doing what they wanted to.
Yeah.
It was the 70s, man.
Look, there were nets. They were just down on the first floor. So yeah, you'll fall a little bit.
Oh, no, they just got one of those big inflatable bounce houses.
Oh, shit. That's
Yeah, that's where they catch him.
Yeah, so then we cut from them hanging off rafters and stuff, and then cut to a torture scene. I guess the basement of the Coronado, that they have like a World War I dungeon.
It was bizarre.
Right? Turn the restaurant into this location or something. I don't know where this is. The director comes in and is like, no, it's all wrong. And the writer's like, what's wrong about it? Blah, 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 blah. Then we just cut to a big dinner where all the major players of the crew, like, I feel like we missed a scene here somewhere because now we're talking around the dinner table.
Exactly. And you know what else was super distracting is whoever was playing the part of the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland and blowing the giant smoke rings out over the table. It's all I could focus on.
Same thing here, because we're like, we see the director with his parasol cigarette being all Peter O'Toole-ish, but then like these giant things of smoke are coming from the side. Every time it showed everybody on there, I'm like, nobody else is smoking.
Exactly. I was so distracted. I had no idea what they were talking about because of that.
You weren't missing much. I have things written down like war is a symptom of a disease, and this guy knows what the disease is, like talking to Lucky, and he's like, look, I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounds dumb.
I was expecting like a Dom Toretto speech, and it'll be like family. Something like that.
And the only time it really even got kind of interesting is when they're talking about like, you're going to go over budget on this film and they're just going to end up cutting it or whatever anyway. And the director's all like, that would be like if you had a daughter and I said I was going to cut off her fingers and stuff like that. If you touch my film, I'll kill them. Like that kind of shit. Not quite that over the top.
Then I'll eat them.
Yeah.
It was that over the top.
Yeah, but more English, not just I kill them.
I'll kill them. Then I'll eat them.
And then I'll boil the bones. Jake the sheriff basically kind of walks up, shows up at dinner, and he's like, hey, so I understand you have some film about what happened to the bridge earlier. I'd love to see that, like, nowish, if that's cool. Maybe we can a little glimpse of him, like, in a wide shot or something of the guy we're trying to find. Okay, cool, whatever. Basically says, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll have that ready for you in the morning or something like that. Like, it's tucked away for the night. Lucky's like ready to like bail. Like he's like packed up his little bag or whatever.
Surround me. They're going to have that footage. They're going to see me.
I think he was like waiting for a taxi or something. And then, Barbara Hershey, she comes walking in with like the rest of the crew and he's like trying to like stand off to the side, but he sees her and all the light flares.
From the stunt coordinator or one of the camera guys or something. He stole the vest, remember?
Yeah, he's just trying to blend in as they're like walking by. But yeah, we got the little lens flares and everything and whimsical music.
Barf Central. Don't tell me these two are getting together.
I was thinking like, okay, cool, he's a little delusional, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He like turns around, is like looking around for a cap. And then she pops up behind him like, what are you up to? We're like, oh boy, okay. All right. I hear you're going to jump that tower over there tomorrow, because they're at the front lobby or whatever. And he's like, I don't know, maybe. Let's go up there right now and try it. Okay, let's go.
This is actually a really bad idea. And I'm afraid of heights and I don't like it.
And then they start playing like some Charlie's Angels music. Yep. As I don't know, like you're scared, blah, blah, blah. And then they just start kissing and pigeons are flying all around them.
You mentioned the Charlie's Angels music. And that's when I turned to my wife and I said, Barbara Hershey, she's like in this category with like Linda Carter and Jacqueline Smith in terms of natural beauty, whatever. She never changed and she still kind of looks the same today. And at that moment, because of the music and the setting and the spotlight and everything, I was like, wow. Like I just had this moment, aside from everything that was just going on, it was well put together and it very much highlighted her. It was romantic in a way, but really cheesy at the same time.
I had a moment too, and it was, what the fuck is going on?
Very different than my moment.
I'm much more with you on that.
Especially when the spotlight hits them too, and it's like, wait, is this going to be like the cops or something? No, it's just the director.
Her father?
Yeah, who we saw just walk in, and then like all of a sudden he's back out there. He's going, sorry guys, this is our life now. Yeah, so the director, he's got the spotlight on him, and he's like, brilliant, brilliant. We're out here just testing lighting, no big deal. No, you weren't, but whatever, it doesn't matter. This movie's off the rails, right? And then, like, when they get down from the tower and they're walking by, this is where the director is still on this, like, mechanical arm lift that's just, like, following behind him. And the way he's, like, kind of, like, gliding behind him as the scene's going, I'm like, this is like Doc Ock in a Spider-Man movie. Like, this is a supervillain just kind of, like, gliding behind them, talking about, like, no, you're going to be great in the movie. Definitely not the devil.
With the propeller spinning on top of that thing.
Right. And then, just like a Marvel villain, he ends up snagging Steve, or, Lucky, or whatever we're calling him right now. Lifts him up, as high as it goes to, like, the top of the Coronado. And they're like, hey, the cops are looking for this Cameron guy. You don't know who that is, do you, Lucky? Okay, so what's the plan? Am I going to do this movie thing, or are we just waiting a couple days and I'm running? He's like, look, just stick around for a couple days, be at the airport Sunday morning at 3 p.m. and just fly off with us. And then when we get back to LA or whatever, you can just go wherever. But I see potential in you. You definitely be the thing my movie needs. All right, sure, why not? The next day, setting up for the shoot where he's going to, like, jump the towers. This little action scene that happens here for the next, let's say, 7 to 8 minutes.
Right.
Pretty fucking awesome, because jumping from tower to tower and along the roof lines of the Coronado, which, if you haven't seen, super steep red shingle roofs, and there's, like, explosions and squibs and guys getting tossed off the side and falling on mats, falling through, like, windows.
But none of that compared to the guy that slipped and smashed his balls on the roof. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, was that the stunt coordinator or something that did that? Like, oh man, that's gonna sting. Oh, and then there's, of course, the gratuitous boobies, like, popping in window stuff. He's like, oh, get out of here.
Oh my god.
Part of that sequence, they wind up in a brothel.
That's later.
Yeah. He's being chased like a dozen dudes at the top, and he gets, like, cornered onto this steel pipe or whatever he's holding on. Of course, it breaks and it falls over, and he goes crashing through, like, an atrium window. And there's a couple people fucking on a bed or whatever that he interrupts. And they're like, oh, get out of here. Blah, blah, blah. He rolls over into, like, the debaucherous orgy dinner room, I guess.
It was like a scene from Caligula suddenly. It was like, what are we doing inside of this other film that's being filmed while they're filming this World War I reenactment thing? It was so bizarre.
And they start tearing his clothes off and shit, too. And I'm like, okay, what is happening?
Right?
And the director's right there like, perfect. We got it all in one take. God, what exactly? Like, we heard you go over the scene like, oh yeah, you do this and then you run over here and that's basically it. Not an 8-minute action scene. And then he's basically like, why didn't you tell me that was all going to happen? Like, the spontaneity makes it look realistic. That's what I'm going for in my film.
A recurring theme as we move along too. It's like, all these surprises.
Cut to them watching the dailies of it. Look, he's like trying to talk to Nina or whatever, and she's like all kinds of upset. At the end of the ruffle thing, he kind of told off the director because he was kind of angry, whatever. And she's like, you can't talk to him like that. He's the one giving us all a chance here, and we got to make a movie. Otherwise, we don't get paid, and we never work in this town again. Like,
so next is like the big jump that the stunt coordinator ends up making. You think he got killed, and that leads to the biplanes.
Yeah. The biplanes where they're like watching, like that crash looked so hokey as they have like the worst scarecrow dummy hanging out of the airplane. Like, no, that's all wrong.
Did anybody else notice that all of the planes crash like they're in the Charlie Chaplin film, straight down, Snidely Whiplashes in it and wacky races or something? It's completely like asinine the way they set up those crashes for those planes. What happens next out of this boggles my mind, because it's another sort of like really striking cut from that jump from when the stunt coach comes off the building and you think he dies and he lands in that big balloon and they're like, oh, okay, great. And then he's drunk riding on one of the wings of the biplane. I'm like, what the hell happened here? How did we get to this point?
The whole time I'm thinking like, okay, the movie the director's trying to make has even more severe tonal shifts than this movie does. Like, I want gritty war film so nobody will ever want to be a part of war again. And then I'm going to have a guy dance the Charleston on a biplane wing. Like, wait, which is it?
The whole conversation about doing the dance on the wing of the plane just got me like, this makes no sense.
It was bizarre.
Yeah,
you could have deleted all that. But if you did, you would have missed a really important part, right, Brad?
Which part?
When the plane is about to crash. What do we cut away to? We make a hard cut.
Yes. No,
best transition in the movie.
Crash. The plane crashed. He jumps off, and oh man, what a jump! Oh my God!
Cuts right into his O face as he's blasting into Barbara Hershey.
Oh.
And I have to say, I busted out laughing. I heard my wife chuckle too. And at that moment, I had that very adolescent curiosity where I'm like, are we going to see the goods? Like, what happens next? Yeah. Like, where do we go from here? It was so shocking. Are we going to see the Hershey
kisses? I know what you're thinking, Eric. Yeah. Yeah, basically like roll over and she's like, oh man, that's twice today. Once when you were doing your stunt and then now. I'm like, oh geez, come on. This is all a Jacob's Ladder situation, right? Like he got ran over by that car and this is all in his head.
It had to be because it makes no sense otherwise.
Her alarm starts going off because like, oh no, I got to get on the shoot. Hey, could you turn that alarm off for me? And like, he's just like standing next to it, but like not turning it off. Like, no, I want you to think it's Eli just screaming at you. And then I want to make love to you while Eli's screaming at you.
What the? That's so weird.
Tanya, you mispronounced hot. That's what it is.
I'm sorry.
Steamy, sensual from the director of Color of Night, a scant 15 years later.
Then we pan back to the mechanical bear in the swing, right? That's the next part of this because now we're in another screening situation.
Oh my God.
Watching the B-reel.
Yeah, we see the footage. Lucky and the stunt coordinator, they're looking at the footage of Bert's death, basically. Because they had a camera in the back of the car, and you like see him like gasping for air and shit like that. And then like, I don't know, before he depressurizes or whatever, he's like, okay, I think that's enough. We saw what happened. Yeah, then we get this weird scene where Nina, she's in the old lady makeup again. God bless her.
Yep.
And the writer's like, all right, I think I have an idea for this next scene where she's going to be at the cemetery, the tomb of the unknown soldier, basically. And he pulls out of this bag this like bronze statuette of like a girl on a swing and a bear, like one of those like animatronic or like the cuckoo clock motion kind of thing where it just lays and it's like her just banging up against this erect bear.
It's overtly sexual. I mean, there's no hiding it. You're just like, oh my God. Then you ask yourself, why? Why are we looking at this? Why is this important? What does this have to do with anything in this film?
Keep in mind, he's pitching this to the director who I don't know if you all thought the same thing. Maybe you heard something I didn't. Is this actress's father and is like, yes, this is of the period and it's more intimate than, like Leaving Roses or like a picture of them or something like that. No, this is more personal, have more meaning. And the director's like, yes, dude, let's do it. High five.
I never thought Barbara's character and Peter O'Toole's character were related.
We saw that later. Her parents were in the screening that's coming up.
But even up to that point, what made you people think that he was her father?
I swear to Christ, I don't know if it was Denise, the makeup person, or somebody said like, oh yeah, that's why she's in this movie because she's like the director's daughter or something.
Who is this? She slept with him in situation.
Yeah, that's what I thought I heard too.
Which we come to find out later. It's part of the plot, which is super thick.
Okay, synopsis here. New stuntman takes the job, high falls out. Okay, leading lady while facing off with his manipulative director. Okay, so it doesn't say daughter in there. That must just have been me being weird. I'm okay with it.
I can't imagine how much more strange the movie was at that point while you were thinking that, though.
This whole time, it's her dad. How did that come together for you at the end of the movie, by the way?
No, okay, say, you mean in the second act when we find out they were banging? I'm like, what? Hold the tick. What? No. What? Is this like a Woody Allen and like stepdaughter? No.
You're gonna have to watch it again.
She said dad and not daddy.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe that was it. But anyway, back to Barbara Hershey. We get to see her as an old lady at a gravestone acting.
In a terrible accent. Was it German or Russian?
It was a very Bratislavan dialect. No,
Bratislavan.
70s European.
I see nothing. And then, after this scene, somebody mentioned like, the only reason she's in this movie is because they're banging or something like that. I'm like, wait, what now? No, Eli and Nina, they're no. Just like my next 8 notes are no, this isn't a thing in this movie. I'm an idiot. What can I say? Later that night, Eli's like catching up with Lucky and he's like, hey, I got this new script. We're going to be filming in Amsterdam and you can stick your finger in a dike.
We missed something really important about watching the film of the guy dying on the bridge after the whole original bridge thing. And it comes back later. Yeah. We're all car nerds here on Break Fix. So did you guys pick up on anything important about this? I'm going to call it alleged air quotes Duesenberg.
Is it going to be something like the Suicide Doors?
After about 30 to 40 minutes into this movie, I was listening more than watching, so I have no comment.
Was it the Mercedes emblem on the hood?
Hey, we got a winner,
Oh.
winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
When you look through the windshield, there's the 3-pointed star on the hood. It's a Mercedes that they're using.
But here's the funny
Okay.
thing about that, Eric. So I sent you guys a link for the website I used for seeing what cars are in the movies, and it doesn't list. It says "made for movie" is what it says for the model.
Oh, even better.
It's a hybrid. it's a Mercedes burger or something like that.
Deuce and Benz.
Deuce and Benz.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
or-
like
or-
that.
You know what? Deuce and Ben sounds better. We'll go with that. When they're watching the footage or whatever, the stunt coordinator is like, that red light should have kicked on because the director at that point would like unlock the doors and stuff so he'd be able to get out, and it never happened. And so why didn't the light turn? I don't know. Might have been mechanical failure, or maybe just the button didn't get pushed or something. And I'm like, why would you have that as an option?
Or
But
maybe
yeah, whatever.
electronics and water don't mix.
Why would that even be a thing? It's just like, oh no, you just flip this manual switch right here and boom, the door will open and you'll be free. That's all you need. So yeah, obviously Lucky and everybody, they're like, oh, he just wanted to get the footage of his last moments before he died. Weird, cryptic. So now he's like, oh yeah, we're going to be filming in Amsterdam. We're going to be doing another underwater stunt and you'll be great. And I'll pay you $1,000, which can buy you 3 houses in 1978 or whatever year it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
And Jack's just like super skeptical of everything now, and they're like walking to show the sheriff or whatever, Jake, the footage from the bridge and the crash and everything. It's edited, obviously, like it's just like, hey, here's the top shot, don't see anybody there, blah blah blah. Jake or whatever, he's like, yeah, pretty cut and dry. All right, you guys have fun shooting the rest of your movie. TikTok, you got like a day and a half left. Then we cut to Steve Railsback being chased by a tank coming through walls and shit.
Right.
Like we're on the scene of Fury right now, and he's like running through windows and diving through, and then the walls are coming down as the tank's coming through, and that happens about 5 times. And there's more explosions and like planes crashing again that same way where it's like straight down, like Stanley Whiplash.
Mhm.
And I assume that's because that was a prop they had handy from like the old days or whatever. And so it's like, oh, that's a cheap way. We just use that instead of crashing a real plane or something like that, so that makes sense, right?
They probably had him hanging from a cord and just released it, and it fell straight down. It's probably how
More
it
than
was.
likely, yeah. But it was comical because it happened like 3 times, and you're just like, seriously, guys, you can't come up with a better, way to crash this plane than straight down,
The camera at an angle, so it looks like it's coming in at an angle.
right?
Well, then it gets super over the top because then a baby bassinet gets tipped over and a bunch of piglets come running out. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is going on here?
Right?
Cut!
I expected a motorcycle to go by. It'd be like a Fellini film where it's like a random dude on a Harley. You got to fulfill the prophecy here.
Well, not even Harley, like Suzuki crotch rocket or something. Like, wait, those weren't around World War One. But yeah, somebody else cut, and the director was like, "Who the fuck said that? Only I say cut on my set. Who said it?" Like, we were down to 33 feet of film. Yeah, and how long is 33 feet of film? Like 22 seconds. I can do so much in 22 seconds. I could snap your fucking neck. I could shoot you 12 times and blah, blah. He's like losing his shit. Don't you ever say cut on my set. I'm Peter fucking Tool, goddammit.
Is that the scene he got his Academy Award for? Because it really felt forced. Like, this is what the Academy is going to be judging me on.
Every major actor has their one scene in this movie where they're like, this is the one they're going to play at the Oscars. Barbara Hershey at the gravesite.
Yep.
We're going to get Railsbacks here towards the end. I'll be sure to point that out. And Peter O'Toole, this entire movie, in my case, is just over-the-top villain.
It's Magneto.
Oh, dude, he'd have been a great Magneto.
Right?
We cut to a scene where Nina is like dumping Lucky in a Southern Belle accent in his room. Like, we were never meant to be, and blah, blah, blah. You were just a little fling, and now I'm going to go bang my daddy. Steve's still kind of thinking.
This is the scene where I thought he was explaining why the police were after him, because you think that for like what, a couple minutes of this scene runs, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, they're just acting. Threw me into
He has
another
this giant
confusion.
crisis of conscience too, because that's when he sort of puts 2 and 2 together about her and Eli, and he's like freaking flipping out. And I'm like, once, twice, like, who gives a shit? Like, what does it matter? It's in the past, right? I mean, move on. You know, for what, 2 days? I mean, come on.
Yeah, so you and the director are Eskimo bros. It's okay.
Maybe that's what he was upset about.
Yeah, we all seem like, how could you bang Eli? It's like, don't you know? That's how you get movies here in Hollywood.
It's brutal. This is the part where he ends up consoling with the writer, right?
Apparently they're sharing a room. And this is the first time I noticed that. Like, oh, wow, he's sharing a room with the writer?
How awkward was that whole scene where that dude is just sitting there and he's not even typing, okay? Because he's just like awkwardly sitting there and they're like arguing with each other. You should be more of a gentleman than having your wanger hanging out right now, and whatever the hell she said. And dude is just sitting there, and then she leaves. Another guy like storms about. Then he starts like clacking a little bit on the typewriter. How awkward are you?
What made it even more cringy is my favorite quote from the movie comes at this moment. The writer is trying to console Lucky, Cameron, whatever his name is, and he says, and I quote, "I had a virgin once. I had to go to Guatemala. She was blind in one eye with a stuffed alligator that said, 'Welcome to Miami Beach.'" I did the slow clap. I was like, the writers on this were just amazing. It just blew my mind.
Yeah. It was like, okay, yikes. At least you're on the right set, I guess.
Super cringy. Super cringy.
That's right. Part of their discussion was she was like, I know I wanted you to come meet my parents or whatever at dinner, but you're no longer invited, blah, blah, blah. So Lucky then decides he's just going to crash that dinner anyway and shows up. And I couldn't tell if it was Barbara Hershey because she was like super small compared to the parents. It was the parents and apparently like her little sister that he just kind of walked up on and was like, mind if I join you? Oh yeah, she's nonplussed about him just kind of showing up at the dinner or whatever after saying like, no, do not come, you know? Then she walks into the restaurant. I'm like, wait, she was, oh. And of course, she is just over the moon about him being there. Like they hug and kiss or whatever. And it's like, why?
All is right in their 2-day romance again.
And at this point, I'm like, okay, yeah, Jacob's ladder situation. This is all going on in his head. His blood is leaving his brain. And I don't know.
Definitely going elsewhere.
One more thing we gotta talk about at this dinner, though. He goes to the bar to, I guess, get some drinks, and he runs into one of the crew guys. The crew guy's like drunk. I don't know if he was a stuntman or what, but he pulls out a dime and he's like, I'm gonna drop this on Eli. And I'm like, you're gonna drop a dime on him for what? He's like, yep, I know we got the footage. I'm gonna turn him in and blah, blah, blah. And of course, Lucky's like, no, you can't do that, dude. Then I go to jail and can't do that. Basically stops him and like carry him out because he's like super drunk. And it's like, okay, that's the end of that conflict.
So this leads into the second screening.
Yeah, so he's screening the dailies for Barbara Hershey's parents. Oh yeah, here's the scene at the gravesite, acting, blah, blah, blah. And then what pops up on the screen?
Her butt.
Yeah.
Was that even the same movie? He did that on purpose.
Wasn't the bear statue thing in that?
It ends with the bear swinging. Yeah, as they pull back from her in bed with somebody else. And I was like, this isn't even the same movie. Like, again, he did it on purpose, I think, to piss him off. And the ma and pa kettle expression on her parents and the mom's gripping the husband.
So if you look at it, when she was there at the gravesite, she was the older person. And I thought that was like a flashback. That's why that box of the bear donut had meaning, because I guess the guy in the ground was who she was in the bed with.
Dude, that bear had
maybe I was overthinking
to do with nothing.
So they're upset, but then it's like, no, why don't you come the next morning and you'll see the next scene that she's shooting and it'll be great. And you'll see that she's a real actress now. And she's like talking to Eli, like, why'd you do that, Eli? He's like, I don't know. I'm definitely not evil or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then it like the screen transitions and we see her and like they start bringing in like the swastikas and like fire, like chanting like march music. We're picturing the parents from their point of view of it. And it's like, what has our baby done? Yeah. Fucking nuts.
Had they not seen the douche commercials up to that point? I mean,
nope.
Oh, it was just her being, somewhat seductive with a puppy. No big deal.
Okay.
They've seen little shampoo commercials. That's nothing. What was it, like the Fructis commercials? Y'all remember those?
Oh, do you remember the ones where the perfume that they would black out and they'd spray themselves? That was like back in the 90s. I forget. They had one for men and it ends with the guy and he just does one spritz over his dong and then the commercial ends.
Wait, are you talking about Axe commercials?
Yeah. It was before Axe, but there was a perfume or cologne or whatever. It was ridiculous.
Fantastic.
Is this where we get the big reveal where we finally figure out what he did wrong?
I think they're in Lucky's room, him and Barbara Hershey. He gets a phone call and she's like, no, don't. If it's Eli, I'm not here. Whatever. I'm not going on set, blah, blah, blah. But he answers it and he's like, okay, yeah, I'll meet you at the church in an hour. And then he like leans over to her and he's basically like, what if I didn't do the stunt? What if I just decided to leave tonight and never come back? Maybe you could come with me. And she's like, I can't. I've got 2 more scenes, but I could meet you somewhere, though. Yes, we could run away together. It'd be great. Ah.
At this point, was he paranoid about the director trying to kill him yet? Or is that a little bit...
Yeah. He's basically like, the director's crazy. He's crazy like me. He's going to kill me. He was willing to kill Bert to get that shot of him underwater dying, and he's going to do the same to me. I guess he does meet him at the church or whatever. The stunt coordinator, like, check out the car or whatever. And the stunt coordinator's like, all right, here's how the stunt's going to go down. Notice in this car, though, there's no roll bar. And when you're down 200 feet, that thing's going to like crush like a Coke can. But it's okay because you got the steel in the back where you can hide. You're going to have a harness, but they're not going to be able to see. It's just going to be around your waist, not over the shoulder. So don't worry about that. You're going to have to just brace yourself hitting the steering wheel or whatever when you crash in the water. All right, so then you're going to want to roll down the windows slowly, not all at once, because that could cause a major issue. And then the red light's going to come on. You'll know the scene's over, and that's when you can bail out of the car. But not before then. Otherwise, we'll just have to do it again. We only have one Duesenberg. And I'm just like, okay.
Stunt coordinator is like, look, make sure you stay sitting upright as long as you can. We don't want to mess up this shot. He was very adamant about it. He's like, and don't look back.
If you look at the camera, we just have to do it again, and we're not going to do it again. So the whole thing's going to be scrapped. Do not do that.
Because there's that whole scene where they try to go steal the car and the whole Ola Mills thing where her face is superimposed over his ghost face and all that stuff, just before he gets the briefing on how to do the stunt. But I wrote down and I circled the big reveal. He explains why he's a fugitive.
After they check out with the stunt coordinator, where he goes back to the room and she's like, look, I'm thinking of running away with you, but who the hell are you? And Eric, who is he?
He's a war vet. When he came home from the war, I wrote down, came home to run a Baskin Robbins and tried to kill his partner.
He goes a little more elaborate into it, like, I was just shooting anything that moved just to survive for 2 years.
Yep.
It could have been both sides. I don't know. I was just trying to survive. And then I came home and expected like I was going to get some kind of a medal. Instead, they just called me a baby killer. I'm like, oh, yeah, she wants to go now? Yeah, no, never. She's like, oh, forget the scenes. We could just go now. And then he's like, no, but that's not why they're after me. They're after me because, the Baskin Robbins thing. And like, he's supposed to be my partner. And he said, shove off, baby killer. And so I just snapped and,
Oh, was that what happened?
Yeah.
I thought he came home and found out his betrothed was sleeping with that dude, and so he went ballistic because the bitch should have waited for him forever.
Yeah. It was that, and that he was also like, no, you're no longer going to have a job at this here Baskin Robbins or whatever. And that's when he just snapped, and he did kill the store owner, right? Like I couldn't quite.
No, nobody knows.
No, nobody died.
Okay, yeah, because
he got frostbite.
Yeah.
The guy got frostbite on his nose and ear.
Would he lock him in the fridge?
No, he knocked the ice cream vat.
That's right.
Over his head.
That's right.
And then he got knocked out and his head stayed laying in the frozen ice cream. And he got frostbite on his ear and nose.
Frostbite from the Rocky Road and the mint chocolate chip. Bavarian.
Like, what did you have it
cream.
under? Like dry ice?
Yeah.
Come now.
It was those Dippin' Dots. Liquid nitrogen Dippin' Dots. That's what did it.
Makes way more sense.
Okay, and then this is the scene where Steve Railsback starts flipping the fuck out like it's the end of First Blood. And I'm like, this is the one where he's going balls out trying to get that Academy Award nomination. Because he's just like, kill everybody. And he's like tossing paint around. And Barbara Hershey just starts laughing like a maniac. He's like, and then I just start beating the shit out of him. And blah, blah, blah. And maybe if I did this, full nuts. She's laughing. And I'm like, okay, this movie's almost over, right? Like we're going to get to a climax here soon.
Nope.
And then she's like, haha, that's great. And she goes to the shitter. and I'm like, great story, Mark. What the fuck is going on?
But she pissed herself. She didn't make it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm telling you, it is without fail in American films. There is an obligatory toilet scene in every movie. And I don't understand why. It's sort of like when it snows, people go out and buy milk and toilet paper and bread. In movies, we have to have a toilet scene. And this was the moment we had to have it.
Yeah, and then she like comes out like, hey, what if we woke up Eli, blah, 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 and told him we were just leaving? And they're like, no, that's a dumb idea. So they just like hop in the car to like drive off, but the garage is locked and the security guy comes down and he's like, whoa, what's going on here? We're locked up until 7 a.m. unless the director himself gives the okay. And they're like, well, this is bullshit. Boo. He wants everybody arrested for the last day of the shoot. Okay, cool. We get another speech from Lucky or whatever. Where he's like, I feel like I'm in a character in this movie. Like I'm just predestined to do this thing. And what if we just change that last page, Wait, that's it. We'll do a rewrite. Okay. Here's the plan. Now stop me if I'm wrong. she's going to hide in the trunk
Uh-huh.
while he does the final stunt off of the bridge, crashing and driving, blah, blah, blah. And then he's going to like free her as he's freeing himself and then just swim off to Canada or whatever from there.
I
Yeah,
didn't gather
something
that
like
as the plan. I thought he was just not going to do the stunt, and they were just going to leave. He was just going
Just gonna keep driving.
Just drive. Just keep on driving.
That makes a lot more sense.
Actors on the set. Security guy should know them. He could have just said, I'm going to take the car out because I want to practice driving it. And they could have just driven away. Both of them in the front seats. This whole elaborate plan for what?
We got to they had to get the okay from the director. He's the god and or devil of this movie. So nothing happens without his okay.
Now, this is where we do get the Olin Mills ABBA album cover thing happening with their faces and the ghost. And I was like, what the hell is this? I mean, we had extra money. We had to do some special effects.
Pretty much. Yeah, she hops in the trunk and lock it up, and then he, I assume, goes off to sleep for an hour or whatever. I don't know. And then we cut to the morning, and we see the movie caravan rolling in to shoot the scene there at the bridge. And they set everything up in like minutes, like the giant mechanical arm the director's going to be in, all the trailers, all the camera crew, choppers.
Why was that guy riding on the hood with the bullhorn at like 45 miles an hour? What was going on?
He just didn't want to walk from the hotel they were shooting the scene at.
So you're telling me all the seats in the basically Griswold mobile were queued up? He could only ride on the hood?
Seemed that way.
He was yelling out the Siri directions. He's like, in a quarter mile, we're going to turn left on State Road 12.
So bad.
So they're setting up the car with all the cameras in the back and all that stuff. The director, he comes out and like on the bullhorn, basically like, hey, we only have one Duesenberg, so don't fuck it up. And no matter what you do, keep rolling those cameras. No matter what happens.
You know what I said? I yelled back, it's a fence.
Yeah. Get a Duesenberg.
Did you guys notice the little Third Reich Falcons on the door or whatever they were? I only noticed them in that scene and not in the early scene with the guy that died off the bridge. So maybe that's how the car was unique. But stamped on the doors were these black Falcons, very German or whatever there. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
The like Black Eagle or whatever is definitely just a German thing in general, not specific to the Third Reich. I swear there were swastikas popping up along with those in that scene with Barbara Hershey and like the fire and everything was coming in. I'm like, wait, this just turned to World War II now? Well, I guess she is older, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, they're setting up Detective Jake. He's on set too. Apparently the security guy and all the other cop buddies are dressed up and they have guns, and like Railsback's talking with them like, those are blanks, right? And they're like, it's not what it said on the box I got the bullets in.
So I wrote down, those better be blanks. Doesn't say so on the box. And I wrote Alec Baldwin moment right here.
Yeah. Guys, we're about to see Brandon Lee be shot down. Hold on to your hats. Yeah.
This is also the part where Eli, Peter O'Toole, requests the helicopter, right, to come in, but we don't see it until a little bit. And I also wrote down this quote. He said, this is the crooked cross to the lame duck requesting the helicopter. And I was like, why did you pick that exact phrasing?
Because his name is Eli Cross.
No, I knew that, but the crooked cross, again, kind of going back to what you were saying about how he is both the good and the evil. Were we supposed to pick up on that? Was he confirming it at that point? It was very specific language. And I was just like, that's odd.
Everything in this movie is pointing to the director is going to kill Lucky. Are there live rounds in the guns that are going to be shooting him when he gets on the shore? If he makes it out of the car that may or may not unlock to let him release, dangerous as it is. And then when the male star he's stunning for, Mr. Bailey or whatever, comes up and says to him, there's no need to check if she's in the trunk. If she's in there, she loves you. And if not, then it doesn't matter. And I'm like, so they know she's in the trunk. Or at one point knew they're in the trunk because he's coming up and telling her. I'm like, okay, this is kind of overkill on this point now. So then he hops in the driver's seat and is like, fuck it, punches the gas and starts driving off. And the director's like, what's he doing? Action, roll cameras, action. He's like, woohoo, we're going to get out of here, blah, 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 crossing the bridge. And then we see that the director has a little button in his hand. Boop, tire blast out. Oh, shit. Swerves off of the bridge. Splash into the water. Oh, shit. instantly is like unbuckling himself, crawling into the back, like where the camera is and stuff. I'm like, well, they're not going to be able to use any of that footage. Good for them. He's going back there, I guess, to like dig through the back seat to make sure Nina's okay. But as he's like trying to do that, he's looking out the back window and he sees the director looking down from the bridge. And then Nina's next to him looking down from the bridge. She's not in there.
Dun, dun, dun.
I got confused. I was like, great. So she set him up this whole time.
Right.
So I
That's
missed
what I
like
was
the whole
thinking.
point for a while. And I was like, so did she just set him up with Eli? And she's been like this backstabbing hoe the whole time?
Yep. And so, yeah, the car's just sinking and sinking because it's a big solid metal Mercedes. And like the handles are like falling off. Like it looked like they were like held on with glue or something. Like they were just for decoration. Yeah, water starts filling in super quickly. Like it takes about 3 seconds for just things just. He was told there was like an air tank under the seat, but the tube was cut or whatever. So he's like, it's not going to work. Goes out the window, out to the surface, swims over to the shore, pulls himself up on there. And then the cops with the guns are basically just waiting there with like the rifles, and they like point the guns at him point blank and start grabbing them and yelling them and like pulling them around like, cut! Congratulations, we got it! It's perfect, everybody. And then like there's like playful music and everybody's laughing and the chopper's like flying around. And
so my favorite character arrives again, the stunt coordinator, right?
The stunt coordinator, yes, go for it.
Flips off this jet ski thing.
Oh my God. Like he goes ass over tea kettle. Like, and they tried a hard cut there, but it was obvious he wrecked that thing when he hit the shore of that river or whatever it was. It was beautiful. Like I stopped, I had a moment, I laughed, I cried, I felt for him. It was amazing.
I can't even say it was a jet ski. It was a legit water cycle. Like it was a motorcycle with a ski on it that he just, when he came roll up, I'm like, what is that? I have not seen one of those. And then, flips over. It's like, oh, well, that's why there was only one and he just broke it. Offers him like some whiskey and stuff like, hey, it's probably the greatest thing I ever shot. Good job, buddy. And Nina's there and she's like, oh yeah, they found me like 5 minutes after you left in the trunk. And Eli said that you were going to do the stunt and I should be here to support you and blah, blah, blah. You were wonderful. Anyway, I'm going to go shoot my 2 scenes and then we can go off together. It's going to be great.
I can't come 10 foot closer because my dress is going to get muddy.
Oh, screw it. And she runs across and they hug and kiss and oh my God. And then the director comes flying in on his supervillain arm again. Hello, Peter Parker. You know, it's even better. He shows up on that thing and he's like, how white man? Like, oh Jesus, dude.
Yeah, that was terrible.
And then it's like, look, I know I was kind of seedy the past couple days. I just wanted to get the best reaction out of you so it looked realistic. I hope we can still be friends. And I'm just trying to convince people that there's another way to get this kind of reaction without killing. Wait, what? Are you trying to make yourself off as the good guy in this? And then this is where you start discussing the fee.
The stunt coordinator told me $1,000. You were going to give me $1,000. No, the stunt paid $650. No, I want $1,000. You owe me $1,000. No, $650. $1,000. I'm going to come up there and tear you off that helicopter. I'm down. Let's split the difference. $750.
Yeah. Yeah, and the music was just kind of like like Curb Your Enthusiasm or something.
Back to that 60s Batman stuff again. Yeah, he gets in the helicopter. And did you notice they used the same smoke grenades they used in Batman? So now he's flying around with all this pink and green shit in the air. I was like, what is the point of this?
Joker has just taken over that helicopter. Whirring all around, doing like a little whoop-de-loos around the bridge, coming within feet of that bridge, it looked like. And I was waiting for him to like throw a bottle or something at it like he did before, and then it crashes. But no.
He just stood there.
Well, he threw a rock or something at it, and I was like, oh, here it is. It's going to crash.
It was like a handful of dirt. He just grabbed some dirt from the ground and picked it up and threw it. Right before the credits, did you all catch the symbolism, I guess, or the connection from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie? Basically, the movie started and ended with Bert getting ready to ride in a police car.
Like Bert and Ernie, like what are we talking?
Quote unquote Bert,
the guy Lucky, Bert,
Cameron,
Lucky,
Steve, whatever we've been calling him the whole damn
Lucky
movie.
number 11. The movie started with the police getting ready to take him for a nice little ride, and it ended with him. He was going to willingly hop into a police car.
Yeah, Jake was getting him a ride to the airport or whatever. And
Yeah, the airport.
It just ends so abruptly.
Yeah, like the credits are rolling. You see the helicopter is still flying around, and it's like, it's only like 2 minutes of credits because, whatever, no special effects or whatever. Did you guys wait till the end?
No.
Oh man, there was more?
Yeah, well, no, basically at the end, we get Peter O'Toole saying, "Son, rewrite the whole damn thing and crash him in the first act." Ha ha ha! That's it, the end.
Wow, that just
what?
Brings it all together for me now.
What happened?
Basically like the freeze frame shot or whatever as the credits are rolling. And at the end, you just get a little voiceover of Peter O'Toole saying like, "Rewrite the whole thing and kill him off in the first act." Ha ha ha! But that's like the last 3 seconds of the movie.
Here's my problem though, because I watched it on Freevee. If I want to go back and watch those 3 seconds, it means I need to back up, watch 9 commercials, and then get to that. And I had already done that once because I kid you not, the way this movie ended, I thought I had passed out. You're watching like a movie and you're so tired and you forget, you just fall asleep. I went back and I'm like, nope, that is how it ended. Roll credits, we're done. And I could not believe it. So there's no chance I'm going back for 3 seconds of Peter O'Toole.
All right. Well, I guess going around the room, that's the Stuntman. Eric, would you recommend it?
To my enemies? Sure. No, I'm kidding. If you're into this sort of late 70s, I'm going to use the word, if you're like these mindfuck movies like this is a movie for you to dissect and pull apart and try to figure out what they intended. I mean, it reminds me of high school literature when you're trying to philosophize about what the author intended by what they were writing. No, they wrote "The cat was black and crossed the street." That's how I viewed this movie, and that's it.
An allegory for good and evil.
Just like Star Wars is. Okay, great. Yeah, if that's your thing, watch this. But if you're looking for a good stunt movie and stuff that's blowing up, this isn't the one.
All right. How about you, Tanya?
Hard pass.
Oh.
I am not clearly intended for these 70s movies. As I said in the beginning, it's a wonder that film progressed with these gems that came to us.
Excellent. How about you, Brad?
Recommend this movie, or would I watch it again?
Just no.
It wasn't terrible. I didn't
just
see
not your
the
bag
point of the movie. There was no really awesome van or Corvette that I could really grab hold of, fall in love with.
There was a Benzenberg, Duesenberg.
There was a pork and beans. That was it. But no,
in 5 seconds of a water cycle.
Did a hell of a J turn, though.
I will say the helicopter pilot was pretty.
Oh
good.
Yeah, Mad
he
skills.
was the real hero of the film. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Am I sorry that I spent 2 hours watching it? I actually paid money.
No.
So I didn't have to sit through 2 hours of commercials. It still wasn't worth it.
All right, how about you, Mailman Dan?
Snapman Mike.
Mike Mandan.
So, as for recommending it, I can't say that I would, because when you see the title Stuntman, you think it's going to be like a lot of stunts and everything, but it wasn't in the sense of what I thought it was going to be. If anything, I'm curious with the movie they were filming inside the movie. Where do we access that movie to watch it?
You want to watch the World War I brothel comedy, love across time and generations?
You already saw it, though. You saw all the footage.
I'm sure
good
that
stuff anyway.
With the way this was, I was confused through a majority of it. It's probably one of the movies, if I were to sit down and watch it multiple times, I'd probably find things I missed the first time. I don't know that I want to spend that time out of my life to go back and search for those things.
Well, guys, I loved this movie. I can't even joke. It was crazy. I love just how over the top, like Peter O'Toole was great, I thought. I've only seen him in 3 movies in my life. It's like then like Lawrence of Arabia and stuff. And it's like, am I comparing this to Lawrence of Arabia? Probably not. But no, I really enjoyed this movie. It was just nutso enough. And I watched a lot of stunt movies this month, and they've all been pretty great. Even like low budget stuff like Death Cheaters. I mean, I'll get Izzy's comments. I'm pretty sure she liked it too. Izzy, what did you think?
Hey everybody, so this is Izzy. I had to go take care of the little sushi dog, but I have opinions! Basically, it just sums up to, this movie's freaking awesome. If you didn't like it, okay. If you thought it was boring, you didn't get it. You weren't paying attention. This movie is a lot about an unreliable narrator and somebody who does not have a good grip on reality, their version of what the movie industry is with sort of a sadistic director. And we've seen quite a few movies with sadistic directors. It's kind of an interesting theme that could be explored in and of itself, but that is too much film school information for this year. Basically, go watch this movie, make your own decision. This movie's freaking awesome. The ending is amazing. Watch it with like a bit of humor and knowing that you can't trust anything that's going on because our main character doesn't trust anything that's going on.
See, she agrees with me. But guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we have more beer, fun facts, and what we learned from the Stuntman.
There's so many podcasts out there. How do I find the one for me?
For so long, I've searched for podcasts all over, but none of them seem to fit my needs. Where is my Nick Cage Pissing Fire podcast? Where's my monkey tickling? I couldn't find it anywhere until I found Everything I Learned from Movies podcast with Steve Izzy. And now I get to hear about all the monkey tickling I want, baby.
So many podcasts out there are all talk and no Congo. That's why I listen to Everything I Learned from Movies.
Greatest living actor? Nicolas Cage, of course. That's why I listen to Everything I Learned from Movies.
One-liners, plot holes, gratuitous boobies? Fun fact, that's why I listen to Everything I Learned from Movies.
See if Everything I Learned from Movies is right for you at EILF Movies. That's Everything I Learned from Movies on Twitter, Facebook, or Patreon. Free on all the major podcatchers.
Have you ever watched a movie and thought to yourself, what were they thinking?
Because we sure have.
So much so that we named our podcast after it.
What were they thinking?
Starring me, Nathan.
And Brendan.
Every week we take a bad to questionable movie and unpack it so you don't have to.
And then sometimes we A your cues in our mailbag. No big whoop.
Yeah, no big whoop at all. So that's What Were They Thinking?
You can find us on your favorite podcatcher or follow us on the World Wide Web on Twitter and Instagram at WWTT Podcast.
Who the hell says World Wide Web anymore?
This guy.
So, see you soon. Wave at microphone.
Hi guys, we interrupt your favorite podcast to interrupt you with an ad for your new favorite podcast.
Wait, isn't this playing on somebody else's show?
Exactly.
So then how are we I thought we were their new favorite podcast.
Well, we're going to become their new favorite podcast after they hear this advertisement for our show. What's our show called, Justine?
Superiority Complex.
Yeah. Where can they find us, Patrick?
Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. You can go to @SoupComplex on Twitter, SOUP Complex, and you can go to Facebook.com/SoupComplex. But our main page is on Podbean, and you can find us there at www.superioritycomplex.podbean.com. New episodes are out every Thursday. Justine,
yes.
What do we talk about on the Superiority Complex?
Nerdy stuff.
Perfect.
Don't get all sensual with your voice.
Yeah, did you hear that?
I heard it. It's a little inappropriate.
If you want to hear a little more of that, tune in to the Superiority Complex. One more time, Justine, what do we talk about?
Nerdy stuff.
Nah, wasn't the same. You tried.
Hi, this is Johnny C. McGinley, and you're listening to Everything I Learned from Movies. All the best.
And we're back. Oh my God, Steve, those are the greatest ads that ever added in the history of adding. Oh, he said it. I come in every week. Did it all by myself, guys.
Nice.
Well, I'm a little thirsty, so I got from Rogue Brewing a Dead Guy Ale, after good old Bert. Tops off for Bert. Oh, my top.
Is the logo just a silhouette and a mustache?
Oh,
not that Bert. Bert from the... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no. But speaking of that, the opening production logo that popped up, Melvin Productions, I thought it was just somebody's hairline, and then it filled in the rest, and it was like a vulture with the arms down on a branch. I was like, oh, it's a vulture. Okay. Rogue Brewing, Dead Guy Ale. It's an American Maibach. It's 6.8% alcohol by volume. We've had it on the podcast a bunch. It's fantastic.
I'm still enjoying my delirium. It's not something you can blast through.
Yeah, so you said it was 8%?
Yeah, it's 8%, and it's in a big rig, pretty much the cans it comes in. So how many ounces is this? It's quite a lot. It's a full pint in a can. So yeah, it's a big rig can like you'd expect, bigger than a Monster. So, normal humans probably plow through it. Me, I like to sip my beer, like to enjoy it. There'll be some left over tomorrow, I think.
How's the Macallan there, Brad?
Quite tasty.
Yeah. Well, since Tanya's wanting to go straight into the fun facts, what do you say we get into it? Yeah, fun facts, guys. Rotten Tomatoes What do we think the critics thought of the Stuntman?
I think they gave it, what, 90%?
It is 90% positive reviews on the Stuntman. So guess what? Steve's right.
Woo!
I was not expecting that.
Do we watch movies differently than everybody else? Is that what it is?
90% with the critics and 73 with the audience. You guys are wrong. No, think about it. Who's going to go watch the Stuntman and review it on these things? People specifically looking for stunt movies.
True. The people that dissect these kinds of movies, looking for their inner meaning in Inception level 7.
It's an
I would say, like, the stunt work in it, a lot of it was crazy, and I can imagine the actual filming of it was insane to do.
Was there actually stunt work in this? That's the whole thing. It's a movie about Stuntman, and I felt like there was no stunts. The guy
sequence on the top of the Hotel Coronado?
That's it. The guy who smashed his balls. That was the biggest scene.
The tanks going through walls, the planes crashing, the guy doing the Charleston on a biplane, saving geriatric Barbara Hershey in the water, the opening chase with the cops and stuff in the woods, man.
The tank going through walls and losing its main cannon as it went through the wall.
That one. It was made out of cardboard, you know.
Well, and Brad did already point out the helicopter pilot was a phenomenal pilot.
He was good. He was quite good.
Yes.
And that chopper had a glass bottom. My wife pointed that out. She said, did you notice? They were shooting through the bottom of it for some of those scenes. I thought that was pretty cool.
Any guesses on the budget for this movie with all of its amazing stunts and star-studded cast and whatnot?
I'm going to quote another movie.
$50.
More than you can afford, pal.
65 grand. Which is probably a lot of money.
It was 3.5 million, which I think for inflation makes it like 50 today or something.
No way. They didn't spend 3.5 million. They spent like 100 grand on this.
3.5 million. Look, you got to keep those actors on cocaine. Like, let's be real.
That explains the red eyes. I get it now.
There's a reason Peter O'Toole's in this movie. Other guy's last name is Railsback. All right.
Oh, that's why it cost so much. They had to pay Peter O'Toole.
The Crooked Cross. Yes, he had to get paid.
All right. How much money do you think it made, since we had never heard of it before?
After 50 years, it's got to have made its money back by now. So let's say it made 10 million.
7.1.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. The film was a dream project for director Richard Rush. Has frequently been publicized as taking 9 years to get to the screen. However, Rush said on the website, The Sinister Saga of Making the Stuntman, that the picture took 10 years from inception to release, 7 years to finance it, and then 3 years to release it. That's right. It was written in 1970. The film was shot in 1977, and post-production finished in late 1979. So then 20th Century Fox picked it up and released it in 1980.
I want to go back to what Tanya said. The Ramy brothers could have done this for 35 grand, and we already know who the cast would have been, and it probably would have come out the same. Come on, Steve.
But they didn't.
I know, but they didn't.
So, no. Like, all right, we get a time machine. Instead of Evil Dead, we get the Raimi brothers to do the Stuntman, and then Bruce Campbell starring now in like Stuntman 24, The Search for More Money.
See, I could see Bruce Campbell replacing Peter O'Toole if we were to recast this. I think it would be perfect. Put a little chalk in his hair, boom, done.
Or just take the coloring out, whatever works. The scene where the old car crashes off the bridge into the river was filmed on the American River in Rancho Cordova in Sacramento, where my wife's from. Hey,
I've been there. Nice.
When they first tried this, the car actually jumped the track and let it off the bridge and continued down the bridge. The driverless car was on a pulley system with a rail on the bridge road to guide it. The driverless car chased down a few cameramen and crew and took out a camera before it finally came to rest.
Oh, wow.
And they got it all on film, and Bert died. I mean, I'd be interested in this, but the movie's original runtime, 2 hours and 30 minutes. There's an additional 20 minutes somewhere.
Director's cut. No.
The lost footage.
It's on the Blu-ray.
Guys, I think you'll be okay. Unfortunately, Richard Rush is no longer with us, so I'm sure they're not going to be pulling for that Rush cut.
I like that pun. That was good.
And director Richard Rush had said in a 2001 interview with Paul Hupfield, I was lecturing at a university film school to a bunch of potential film students and asked them if any of them had seen my films. I started with Color of Night. I saw about 80 hands went up out of the room of 200 kids. Then I asked if anyone's seen the Stuntman, the film I'd actually wanted to talk to them about, and only 2 hands went up.
Wow.
2 hands in a room of 200. I thought, oh boy, my film is totally lost on this generation. Guys, watch it on Tubi. This gets the Steve thumbs up seal of approval. Don't listen to these other guys. No, I'm just kidding. Certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm never trusting the reviews again.
Look, there are movies that are like 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes. Like for me, Midsommar is the stupidest movie I've seen in forever, and like the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man's 10 times better.
Oh man.
Wicker Man and Midsommar are both so slow and dumb.
There's movies like that where it's like, oh yeah, 95% of Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, but I didn't enjoy it. Teach their own.
So,
but
Steve, do you have any additional trivia regarding the movie? Because I got one little key thing that piques interest.
Yeah, that's all I've got. Go for it. Mailman.
Okay, so for any individuals out there trying to find this that are not in the U.S. or can't find it on Tubi or locations you've mentioned, this movie apparently was also released in Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Germany, Spain, Italy, and Portugal. Since Eric was thinking Fugitive at the beginning, the irony of that is in Portugal, it was released as O Fugitivo. And then Brazil, it was O Substituto.
Substitute.
Germany, Der Lang Todd des Stuntman's Cameron. So at least that one we would have gotten his name at the beginning of it and known what it was because it's in the title.
Yeah, there we go.
Did you mention the cover art of this movie already?
No, go for it.
So has anyone looked at the cover art for this movie?
About
several of them, yes.
A naked Peter O'Toole as the devil with wings sitting on his whatever the hell
his camera mechanical arm thing. Yeah,
yes.
That's the cover of every Peter O'Toole movie.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, is that what that is? It just looked like super blurry on Freebie. Now wow.
Yeah. Because, the devil was an angel, and now he's a director in a movie. Ah.
Yeah, because the other cover art makes it look like the Hotel Coronado is exploding.
Yeah, that's great, too. And everybody's face looks like, ah. Yeah, some great cover art in the 70s. I miss those days.
Oh, looks like there's a follow-up DVD that you need to get, Steve. The Sinister Saga of Making the Stuntman.
Yeah, that's where Richard Rush talked about taking 10 years or whatever. In my fun facts, I'm like, I gotta hunt this down somewhere.
But then it has 2 naked Peter O'Tooles, one on a blue camera and one on a red camera, like good versus evil.
Ooh.
That's the cover art. It's super special.
It's an allegory. No.
God.
All right. Lady, gentlemen, we've reached the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
What did we learn from the Stuntman?
I learned that Eric pays a lot more attention to little details that most average people don't.
It was a Benz, damn it. It was a Benz.
Especially when it comes to
nothing
vehicles.
else worth watching. He found the one piece of something interesting from the movie that he could grasp onto.
I also led with Tanya going, what does this have to do with cars?
Well, I learned the original King Kong was 3 feet 6 inches tall.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What was the point of that?
It's all about perspective.
Oh, okay. I missed it. Okay, got it.
With the magic of movies, you can take just some bum off the street and turn him to an international superstar, something like that.
Brad, did you learn anything?
I learned never to watch a movie from the 80s again.
Oh. But there's so many good ones from the 80s.
There's good 80s movies. This was a made in the 70s movie, released in 1980.
This is the Ford Mustang 2 of movies, okay?
What I learned is that I don't know why we did this movie, because I want to do one of the movies when you do the van month or whatever.
No,
I got vans. Okay.
I got an idea for that too. Spoiler alert. We need to do the Gumball Rally because we might have Linda Vaughn on the show, who is the large-chested, well-endowed woman that Raul Julia is all about in the Gumball Rally. So I think it'd be kind of fun to do another crossover with Steve Izzy about that. What do you think, Steve?
Oh, hell yeah. We're always down for Raul Julia.
So, Tanya, what did you learn?
I learned that I have difficulty in slow, drawn-out movies with little dialogue. Keeping my attention.
Must really hate the 70s.
She can't watch Le Mans. I mean, talk about movies with no dialogue.
Yeah. I was named after Steve McQueen, and that's a rough one to get through.
That's a classic. Don't you blaspheme.
So I may be the only person that thinks this, but I enjoyed when all the credits were at the beginning of the movies, like back then. I don't know why, but movies nowadays, I don't like.
Monty Python did that stuff, and it was just annoying as all get out. It took forever to get through the beginning of the movie.
That's blasphemy. Monty Python movies are great.
They are. I want to do clockwise with you guys. I'd be going. But do you guys want to know what I learned?
What'd you learn, Eric?
I learned something really important. Unlike Hershey's chocolate, Barbara is all natural.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Grand Touring Motorsports, thank you so much for joining us here on Everything I Learned from Movies. I understand you also have a podcast?
We do indeed. It's called Break Fix. You can find it pretty much anywhere on the planet where you download music or catch your pods. We're available on all the majors, Google, Spotify, Apple, and then, you could venture down and find us on Ghana too if you're in the middle of India. We're available on social at Grand Touring Motorsports, just about everywhere. We've got a bunch of different YouTube channels and this and that. If you're interested, please tune in. We talk about more than just nerdy car stuff, and we are always happy to get together with Steve and Izzy to review bad car movies, which are always a lot of fun.
I think we graduated. Just hang out with Steve and Izzy to just do bad movies now.
I'm okay with that.
We gotta do the Jackie Chan Grand Prix movie or whatever one of these days too.
We still gotta do Torque and Biker Boys.
There's a long list of bad car movies.
Izzy, where can we find you? Oh, we can find me at Untidy Venus, where I sell all my goods and wares. And yeah, we'll get Izzy on here for the whole thing at the end. Yeah,
we missed her. We missed her the last time too.
I know, the puppy dog, and yeah. I guess until next time, I'm Steve, and I'm Eric, and I'm Tanya.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't. You were queuing
I thought
us
it was
in.
your pause for "I'm Izzy."
Yeah, right. I'm Izzy. We're the crew from Break Fix from Grand Touring Motorsports,
and this is Everything I Learned from Movies.
You gotta sing it with Brad this time. Come on, Brad, get in there. Did little
we
lowered
gotta
expectations.
Harmonize. Everything I Learned from Movies. Yeah, I'll fix that in post.
Or Everything I Learned from Movies.
All right, Tanya, your turn.
I think Brad nailed it for everybody.
I think you did. You did a great job.
Everything I Learned from Movies.
Steve, I always enjoy coming on doing these because you throw out movies I've never heard of. So I've purposely, like almost every time, I create a list when we have these, and I've pulled down so many of the movies you've mentioned and been watching. Some of them are phenomenal. Some on like complete train wreck is when I see them. But
I gotta say, this movie to me was on par with the first movie you did for April, which was that Jennifer Connelly disaster that was like 6 movies in one.
Yeah, it's all the movies in one. Yeah.
Oh, because this kind of felt like that too. I was like, what are we doing here exactly?
Yeah, the tone is just all over the place. And I got the same kind of films in this one too. And I loved Phenomenal, just ass crackers crazy. But it was like, you have a dozen things in this movie. Just one of them could be its own movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a girl that talks to bugs. Cool. Oh, there's a monkey with a straight razor. Okay, cool. Oh, there's a little person going around killing people. Okay, that's its own movie. Nope, throw them all in. Throw in Dr. Donald Pleasance too. It's fine.
Yeah, it was bizarre. We hope you enjoyed another awesome episode of Break Fix Podcast, brought to you by Grand Touring Motorsports. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or get involved, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Grand Touring Motorsports. And if you'd like to learn more about the content of this episode, be sure to check out the follow-on article at gtmotorsports.org. We remain a commercial-free and no annual fees organization through our sponsors, but also through the generous support of our fans, families, and friends through Patreon. For as little as $2.50 a month, you can get access to more behind-the-scenes action, additional pit stop minisodes, and other VIP goodies, as well as keeping our team of creators fed on their strict diet of Fig Newtons, gummy bears, and Monster. So consider signing up for Patreon today at www.patreon.com/GT Motorsports. And remember, without you, none of this would be possible.